General Ty King, known to most as Dr. Gene T. King, was a respected professor and associate head of the Department of Animal Science from the early 1950s to the mid-1980s. He was recognized at the 2007 Beef Cattle Short Course as one of the 4 that made a difference for animal agriculture in Texas, citing their years of service devoted to teaching, training, and mentoring animal science students who have contributed to the success of the Texas livestock industry. A native of Keene, Kentucky, he served in the National Guard and saw active duty in World War II for 6 years as an officer and commander in charge of a medic evacuation unit in Europe, following General Patton's army in his great campaign to the Rhine River. He earned his bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of Kentucky. In 1953, he came to teach at Texas A&M, where he received his doctorate in 1958. Dr. King taught 4 animal science classes and helped lay the foundation for the world-famous Texas A&M University Meat Science section by recruiting some of the department's greatest meat scientists. He was a freshman student advisor and coach of the meat judging team, and he advised the Saddle and Sirloin Club for over a decade. He also helped establish carcass contests for beef, lamb, and pork at the San Antonio, Fort Worth, and Houston livestock shows. Dr. King co-authored the course manual that every meat science student lived by. He chaired numerous departmental committees and assisted in undergraduate and graduate degree planning, counseling, and job placement. He worked tirelessly with sponsors to secure scholarships for undergraduates. He and his wife, Lois, were committed to helping new faculty and graduate students successfully transition to Texas A&M and often opened their home to community newcomers. The university recognized his dedication in 1966 by giving him the Faculty Distinguished Achievement Award for Student Relations, an award King once said he was most proud to receive because he loved teaching and he loved young people. Dr. Gary Smith, visiting professor in animal science who served on the faculty with Dr. King, says, Dr. King was the epitome of a Southern gentleman. A wise teacher, coach, counselor, and advisor, he changed the lives of countless students. He was the prototype of a Texas Aggie and a superb ambassador for Texas A&M, traveling often to visit with former students, FFA advisors, 4-H leaders, and prospective students and their parents. In 1973, Dr. King was named Associate Department Head and Graduate Student Advisor, and he served in this position until his retirement in 1989. Dr. King was widely published, and his research interests included the traits affecting the quality and yield of beef, pork, and lamb, including carcass evaluation, meat and muscle physiology, meat tenderness, and differences in quality among Brahman cross cattle. He served on the board of directors of the American Meat Science Association, which honored him with its Signal Service and Fellows Awards in 1981. 1 year later, he was named Fellow of the American Society of Animal Science. Many of Dr. King's former students have made their mark in meat science and animal agriculture, holding leadership positions in the Department of Animal Science, the Texas A&M University system, and at other universities. They can also be found far and wide in food animal production, commodity organizations, and public service. Dr. and Mrs. King remained active in their community after he retired as members of the Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club, and the Brazos County A&M Club. Dr. King was a deacon at First Baptist Church of College Station for many years. Dr. King passed away in August 2014. He and Mrs. King, who is also deceased, had one daughter, the late Barbara Carroll King. We are proud to induct Dr. Gene T. King into the Animal Science Hall of Fame.